size that you use is pretty much dictated by the land and the environment that you're in. When you're in the mountains, you can get some elevation and you can see a long ways. You get binocular spotting scopes. You can just sit there and look forever in every direction. For this hunt in Africa, it's all really thick bush. So you can't see a long ways in every direction. So the only way to see a lot of area is to cover a lot of ground. So this was safari style hunting. Sat in the back of a pickup truck, had a high rack on it with seats. It was pretty cool. And just drive around all day looking for something. Most of the shots were 100 to 200 yards. You know, you can't really see a long ways. So that's the way we did it. Drove around in a truck. A couple times we had to get out, put on a couple stocks, kind of chase stuff through the woods. But when the cover is that thick, it's really hard to get through without making any noise. And animals have senses way more in tune than ours are, especially their nose and their hearing. So you might think you're not making any noise, you're making noise and they can hear you. So it's pretty tough to sneak up on them in the woods. You got to catch them when they're not expecting you. And a lot of times they run when you stop. Sometimes you got a couple seconds to make a shot. Sometimes they think you can't see them. If they're in a little bit of cover, they might just sit still thinking that you can't see them. So sometimes that gives you more time to take a shot, but there's a bunch of them back there too.
Yeah, a bunch of them came out, but a bunch of young ones.
Yep.
The last one that came out was also a good one, you whole ass. But that's definitely. Shoot him.
Was a suppressed 300 Winchester Magnum. I used the gun that they have at the camp there. Traveling with a gun, flying with a gun sucks. Traveling internationally with the gun really sucks. I've never shot a suppressed gun before, but with that suppressor, there was almost no noise and almost no recoil. It felt like I was shooting a 22, which when you're shooting a lot of shots, it's kind of nice. It did add a lot of weight to the gun, so if I was going on a sheep hunt or something where I had to carry the gun on my back for miles and miles and miles, I probably would not want a suppressor. It was a lot of weight, you know, and if you're only doing 1 or 2 shots, the recoil and the noise ain't gonna kill you. That red hartebeest hunt, that was one in particular where we had to get off the truck. I made a shot and he didn't go down and he ran. I hit him, but he still ran. And so we had to get off the truck, chase him. We were in, there was Cape Buffalo in the area. So we're chasing my wounded hartebeest. There was 4 of us, 3 of us to look for the wounded hartebeest, and 1 person with their head on a swivel to make sure we didn't get charged by Cape Buffalo. Because basically what Cape Buffalo do is, if they don't just all take off, they might linger in the area, but then they'll try and sneak behind you and give you a little run when you're not ready. So my guide's instructions when we were walking, he said, stay close to me. Do not run unless I tell you. And when I tell you to run, run as fast as you can and climb a tree and wait. So fortunately that never happened to us. However, there were 2 other guys in the camp. They were chasing something through a pasture, and they actually had to do that. There was buffalo in the area and the buffalo didn't want to leave. The buffalo wanted the hunters to leave. So they made them feel really uncomfortable. So the hunters had to climb up in a tree. So pretty cool. People all speak Swana too, or is there another language?
Most of them speak Swana, but there's a few other languages that they from Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
And then there's some Zulus here. They speak Zulu.
Yep.
There's some Xhosas. Xhosa is another language. Shutu is another language which is similar to Tswana. The majority of the people here are Tswanas.
In South Africa, there are 11 languages spoken. There's 2 white languages, English and Afrikaans. And it seems like pretty much everybody there can speak both of those. All the billboards, TV, everything's in English. But a lot of people speak Afrikaans. And basically, both language, it's not really an area or location thing. A lot of schools, when you go to school, you can choose to take your classes in Afrikaans or take your classes in English. And it's basically just whatever your parents teach or want you to learn, that's what you're gonna go to school, and all your class will be in that language. However, you'll have 1 class in the other language. So if you go to Afrikaans school, all your classes are in Afrikaans, but you're gonna take an English class to get used to the language. And then as you go through school and grow up, eventually you meet a buddy that speaks the other language, and you 2 teach each other the language. And you know, eventually when you're an adult, everybody there is pretty fluent in Afrikaans and English. There's also 9 different black languages. This is just in South Africa alone. And my tracker and Skinner's, they all spoke Swana. There was, I think, 4 other black languages just in our little area that we were in, but all my guys spoke Swana. They could speak a little bit of English, enough to get by, a little bit of Afrikaans, but like my professional hunter, he's fluent in English, he's fluent in Afrikaans, and since all of his workers speak Swana, he knows Swana as well too. So this is our high rack truck. I sit right there, shoot from right up there. Works out slick. So this guy, he was facing us, probably 150, 200 yards. And I put one right in his chest, hit him good. You could hear the big thump when it hit him. He went down like nothing. I jacked another shell in. About 5 seconds later, he got up, took off like he wasn't even hit. He was running away from me, probably, I don't know, 200, 250, running straight away. I shot again, hit him right in the ass. He went down hard. Thought he was done. We could see him moving around in the grass. All I could see was his horn sticking up. But we could see he was alive. So I kind of just estimated where his vitals were. Put one more shot in him and he was done. But So exciting. Glad to finally get a wildebeest. So that's my zebra skull. Zebra got some chompers on him. Anyway, I got an upgraded room. The room I was in previously, toilet stopped working. I had nothing to do with it. But this is a new addition, so this is a really nice room. Got a big shower. And then after a long day hunting in the bush, if you want to come cleanse your colon, feel free.
Yes. You see, but he won't attack now because his belly is full. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
That's a big fucking python, pal.
And his belly is full.
His belly is full. He caught a baby springbok.
Wow.
Because his jaws separate.
Yeah.
Enables him to swallow. And that's why he's so stable now, because he can't move quickly.
Yeah. Came across this python when I shot my springbuck. For the springbuck, we couldn't get the animals to sit still. They don't always do what you want. These guys are just buzzing around like crazy, couldn't get them stopped. So we had the idea. We got out of the truck. We found a little pasture that we thought they were going to run by, and my tracker basically pushed them to us, and one came by, shot him about 75, 100 yards, and when you see in the picture the hair on their back stands up, that happens when they die. And it also happens, it's kind of like a mating thing when they're trying to impress the babes, like a turkey or a peacock. They fluff up that hair on their back. So it stands up when they die, but it only stands up for about 5 minutes. So you got to hurry up, take a picture before the hair goes back down. So we shot this springbuck, ran up to it, didn't realize we ran right past a 16-foot python. The only way we noticed it was our tracker, who's deathly afraid of snakes, almost stepped on it. He thought it was a rock because it had a springbuck in its belly, which is probably a 40 to 50 pound animal, had it in its belly. So its belly was gigantic, and he wasn't moving very much. He wasn't aggressive because he was full. But you see in the picture, his mouth, he's not smiling at us. He can't close his mouth yet. He had just swallowed that springbuck earlier that day, so he still wasn't able to completely close his jaws. But what made it even more freaky, we had to come back to that area later in the day, and the python wasn't where he was anymore. In its tall grass, we couldn't see him. So now we had to walk around there. We know there's a 16-foot python in the area, but we don't know where, and we can't see him. We just know he's somewhere by us. So it was pretty freaky, but it's part of the experience. It was cool. Makes for a cool story. 4 a.m. back home. We're already done for the day. Got a nice bush buck, but we've had amazing luck this trip. 11 animals so far in 5 days, which is unheard of, but great quality animals. But I just realized why I've had such good luck. Layla's good luck charm. She made sure I didn't leave home without it. And if I would have, I would have had to fly back and get it. But this is the first thing I pack whenever I go. You did good, Layla. So everybody asks me about what happens to the animals now that I'm back here. Well, while I was there, we ate. Every meal was animals that I took. And then I can't take any meat back. So everything stays there. While I'm there, we eat it. The staff, everybody at the lodge eats it. And then what's left gets donated to schools, churches, and people that need it. It's a lot of meat. So it gets donated and a lot of people get to enjoy it. So it's pretty cool. And then my hide and horns will get shipped back to me. They'll get tanned in Africa. They treat the hide and the skulls, everything, get all the meat off, dry them out. And then in a couple months, they'll ship everything to the States. It'll go to my taxidermist and he'll mount everything. So I got 13 heads, which I won't see him for about 1.5 years, but I'm pretty excited to get them back. I love taxidermy. Taxidermy, to me, is a 3-dimensional photograph. And when I'm sitting in my room and I see one of my animals on my wall or whatever, it takes me back and I relive all the highlights and the lows of that particular trip. So it's just a constant reminder. It's something special to me. It's not for everybody, but. So this is the salt shack. All my hides are buried in there. Dries them up. All my horns buried in salt. Impala, Inyala. It's raining today, so we got some downtime. We're gonna grab some pizza for lunch. So this is Ewald's dad's trophy room. Zebras make awesome rugs.
They do.
I think next time I'll do another one to make a rug.
Yeah, to make a rug. I just saw those horns. I'm like, the one way left.
Yeah.
Fucking smoking.
Yeah.
Can I shoot him on the shoulder? Fuck yes. Why not? You know you can. You know you can shoot a frontal shot.
That is a big freaking animal. Holy crap. So I just shot a monster eland. It's my 4th animal for the spiral horn antelope slam, and he was the biggest one, toughest one to get. He ran a little ways into the bush, so we had to bring out some big equipment to get him back in, but we'll check him out in a bit. These guys love the stomach lining. It's like one of their favorite things, the stomach lining. I don't know what they fry it or something, and it's like a snack. But I'll take their word for it. I ain't trying it. That's why you hire professionals. Today is my guide's, my PH, professional hunter. Today's his birthday. We ended the day with an awesome eland. And now we're celebrating. Some of his buddies came out to the lodge. So we're gonna drink some brandy, have a great dinner. What kind of tenderloins are those, do you know?
I think it's Yola or Gimsbuck. What's this? Yola? Gimsbuck. Gimsbuck. Wow.
Yan, 2 and 3.
This stuff doesn't fuck cool, man.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, diamond.
Happy birthday, dear Vickers. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Hip, hip, hip.
Today's going to be a pretty cool day. My last day here, and I am done hunting. So we're going to help with a live capture today. There's some white-flanked impala that are around here that they want to relocate somewhere else. So the helicopter is going to fly around above us, find them, dart them, and then we're going to be on the ground, pick them up.
Seven. 6. Hulle is 6. Hulle is 5 van hierdie en dan daai een wat ek met die tag het gekry. So poor because I neem al af. That's Vickers last night going to bed.
Funny.
That's me.